I want to go to Dr. Michelle DuPre. I want to welcome her back to the show. She's a former medical examiner, retired forensic pathologist, and former law enforcement officer as well. Dr. DuPre, thanks for being here. So I'm sure you've been listening along, probably a bit, astounded at these Keystone cops. I don't understand how the medical examiner, who has now changed his opinion for the third time, uses those reasons, because those reasons existed back then. Help me.
Ashleigh, I don't understand it either. All of these things that are coming out now, at least most of them, were known at the time. It's unexplainable and it's unforgivable. We have something called undetermined as a cause of death. If there was any question at all, the medical examiner could have listed that cause of death, that manner of death rather, as undetermined. And that basically leaves the investigation open when new information or further information comes into existence. But that wasn't the case. And so now it can be changed, thank goodness, but this is tragic. This should never have happened. And just looking at the diagram and reading the autopsy report, I'm not sure how anyone could make the decision that this was a suicide. As you said, just simply trying to take a 10-inch knife and stab yourself in the back of the head, it's not anatomically or physically possible to do that.
Well, I am not a medical examiner, and just me, little old me, I know that if you die and there is blood and you are lying this way, the blood will drip with gravity straight down. And then if somebody moves you, you will be straightened up, but that blood drip will still be horizontal. This is such simple forensics. This is basics. This is 101. And this is what we're talking about with this case, let alone what you just said about trying to stab yourself to death 10 times in the back of the head and neck. Does this say to you, and I hate to even suggest it because it's so anathema to where we should be here in America, that there could be a vast conspiracy. The police and the DA, and maybe as high as some judges, and perhaps some have suggested even today's Governor Josh Shapiro, who back then was a DA.
Something is definitely off-center here. This is too much going on, too many egregious errors, if you will, that really should not have happened. There is no explanation for this. I can't think of one.
So the other thing I want to ask you about is this very strange wording. Obviously, there's a lot of law going on today. This medical examiner, former, was supposed to have a day in court, decided to settle, and rewrote the wording to something other than suicide. I know that there are only, 5 manners of death, right? And something other than suicide is not one of them.
You're absolutely correct. That is where we would use the term undetermined. But again, in this case, I don't even see it as being undetermined. But if you were not going to call it a homicide or suicide, then you would leave it as undetermined, and that would leave the case open. And it could easily be amended then later when new information or additional information came into focus.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.